Hello fellow space engineers. Today we're gonna begin our house cleaning because I've been thinking a lot about what Mad Mike suggested, how he enjoys to just travel around and make stops in the asteroids to just gather ores, and I did realize that we have an ever-growing fleet of ships that I cannot maintain on my own. So today we're gonna grind down these three fighters, these two fighters and this bomber, the Pitbull bomber and the Raven Mark II and the Kestrel fighter. Um, I've been looking at the workshop a lot, trying to find a suitable design for a fighter for our faction, the MTF, or the Mars Territorial Fleet. But I decided to make one of my own. I'm not really good at designing fighters, so any input that you can give is welcome. So the plan would be demolish this tree and the other like executive corvette that we found that's currently in the asteroid down there. Then stock up the Calypso with supplies and start traveling. Like I mentioned before, I'm gonna keep the Charon troop transport, the armed transport, just for the planet's update when the planets come, because I do wanna land it. So let's begin grinding. And we'll begin grinding with, actually we're gonna grind this grinder drone. Well, you would think that it would be helpful to use for the grinding task, but it's not that compatible with the Calypso, with the attachment. The Calypso's hangar has a top side attachment, so for top loading drones, and this is a back loading drone. So besides, it's easier to grind. I'm just gonna grind down, and like, the excess is gonna fall in here. Okay, wish me luck. Not as intended. Okay, time to go.
Inventory full.
the always present flying gyroscope. Okay, here we are, back in our survival world, and I decided to spare you all of the demolition, grinding, flying pieces from those fighter crafts on the bomber. It was just too annoying and long. Basically, it was just the same, like me grinding, me chasing after some gyroscope, so nothing new there. The good thing is that we have the materials now to start building our fleet of drones. And the idea behind the fleet of drones is that, like I said before, we're gonna stock up the Calypso with spare parts and uranium and oxygen and just take off and begin exploring. Oops, sorry. Oops. Okay. And for that, we need to fully equip the Calypso's drone bay. I designed four types of drones. And one of them is a combat dedicated drones, and then the other three are combat utility drones, as you'll see in a moment. And they're designed to be top loading. They don't use batteries because of the size, so I decided to use small reactors instead. Okay. Our projector is gonna be soon ready. So I designed those four types of drones, and the idea is that since the Calypso has 6 drone bays, we will have 3 utility drones and 3 combat drones, which will be more than enough. I'll show you the types as soon as I can begin projecting them, which will only take a second. Okay. I should build a small projector vehicle, small projector drone. Truth is, I don't want to occupy a space in the Calypso with a drone that I'm gonna just like use. Not that, not every single day, because I hope not to be destroying my drones every single day. Okay, let's begin with my classification. The Q, as in drone or unmanned vehicle, the F for fighter, then a number, although the ones that we're going to build are these 3, plus this one, the mini squid. So drone, fighter, these ones are drone, utility, and fighter, because these are combat drones. I mean, they have dual purposes. They have a rocket launcher and 2 Gatling guns, plus the tools that they use. Okay, let's begin with, there's a mini squid. Okay, here it is. Okay, we're gonna have to maybe move the projector, maybe not. Okay, there should be an easier option to reset the um, the grid center. Something like reset it to the center of mass. Well, I don't know, or just like move it manually the way you move a projection. Okay, let's begin building this drone. Remember, we're gonna make 3 of these, and they're gonna be our main fighter drone. I made them so they could be a bit, a bit expendable. That's why I decided to use like the smaller, type of blocks available. Just 1 block of anything, of everything. Okay, that's working fine. Apparently I'm missing some of the central pieces. I really didn't like the fact that the developers reduced the area of the welders. Well, I know it's more realistic, but at the same time it's really hard to actually use the big ship welders on the small ships. Okay. Okay. Guess I can always control the drone and get it closer to the welders. Huh? Not that bad. Okay. Apparently I ran out of something. Okay, we'll check. Okay, the combat drone is now finished. As you can see, it's a pretty even design, and this is why I called it a mini squid. So it kind of looks like a, you know, like a squid. The Gatling guns like that. So anyway, the design of this drone is done in a way that you can concentrate the majority of the firepower in a single point, just facing forwards. Sometimes it's more aesthetically pleasing, or maybe sometimes it favors, positioning of some blocks um, for some fighter craft. The fact that you actually install these rocket launchers on the sides or under the wings, if you like to, you know, create atmospheric capable craft with wings. But when it comes to targeting and firing, the further that you spaced out the Gatling guns or the rocket launchers or whatever mod weapon that you're using, chances are you're going to be wasting at least half of the ammo that you're using, because only one of these sides is going to impact the target, unless it's a large target. But still, if you're in a fighter and you want to take out subsystems like turrets or sensors on a capital ship, you do want that concentration of fire. So that's why I decided to create this drone as it is. And this shape, it basically repeats itself in the other utility slash combat drones, as you will see. Okay, let's dock it with the Calypso so it can take all the munitions and uranium that it needs. Well, here's the mini squid in its dock position inside of the Calypso's drone hangar. But what I want to show you is what's behind it. Um, her siblings. Now these drones, they will need to be, colored, and I guess according to its function. I was thinking of designing a pattern for the faction, the MTF, but that wouldn't make sense to have like a camo pattern for these drones that are going to operate only in space. So I guess I will leave that to fighters that can go in and out of an atmosphere, or maybe land vehicles, or maybe the cannon. But anyway, I don't want to sidetrack. So these are the combat drones, combat utility drones. They are the QF3. The QF2 is the mini squid that we already shown, so this is like the next version after it. This is the the drill drone. As you can see, it has the ore detector, so it can work as a forward scout for asteroids to see what's in them. It can defend itself with the reloadable rocket launcher and also the two Gatling guns. It has the same firepower uh, as the mini squid regarding rocket launchers, but it has half the firepower when it comes to Gatling guns. You need to make up for a lot of space when you install tools. You can access them from the back in case you need to just like load up things from it, or put things in them. So you can have one drone next to you, so it could serve as a mobile mule in a way. Well, mules are mobile. Same for the other two. They are top loading, as I mentioned before. This is the grinder version. It could work as a salvage vehicle for exploring maybe like hostile derelicts, or just grinding the hull of a station or a ship that you want to board. And like I said, it can defend itself in case it comes under attack. Same goes for this other combat repair drone. So in the middle of a battle, you can take it out and repair those critical components in the Calypso that the self-repair system of the ship cannot reach. They are all light armor. As I said before, I was looking for something that was cheap and faster to produce. And to be honest, the light armor is more than enough for this type of vessel. They resist one single missile hit on either side without considerable damage. A second hit or a third hit can definitely put them out of commission, but they only need to resist that first hit, and then of course, you want to evacuate them because they're not fighters; they're just drones that have a secondary, combat capability. Okay, so that's the story behind the drones, and I hope to be using them from the Calypso's hangar bay without them, banging against each other and destroying all the interior, like happened, that happened before when I had this like drone hangar in between these two connectors. Basically, was a rotor, a big ship rotor that turned into small ship rotor, with the trick that we will know, and then merge blocks on either side. My idea was to keep these, the drones more secure, but apparently, you know, that backfired. And let's see how these connectors, just with the connector, magnetic lock, how that works. Okay, it's time to jumpstart this and finish building the other two brothers and sisters of this mini squid.